Welcome back, everybody. This is Urban Sprawl, and today I want to get a few projects laid out. In the next couple of weeks, my workload is going to go through the roof, so I might not be as regular as what I have been. So what I'd like to do is give you a rundown of some projects that I want to do in the next month or two. And my episodes may become just short snippets of where I'm up to. Unfortunately, that's what you get for being a full-time professional and trying to have a YouTube channel at the same time. But that's okay. My first job is this bridge. It's ugly, and I want to redo it. Basically, this bridge leads over to the other side of the river. We're just on the side of the motel here, and yes, I'm thinking this bridge needs a bit of an upgrade, so that's our first job. Let me take you on a little bit of a tour of the server and give you a rundown of some of the bigger projects that I have in mind for the next month or two. That way, when you tune in, I can give you a brief update of how it's going. So, there's the city as it is at the moment. I do like that view up at the castle. Look at that. Look at the castle. Standing up nice and proud up there. So there's the edge of the city, and we've got the motel just on the outskirts. We've got this bridge, and over the bridge, and I don't think I've ever shown what this path leads to, but if you remember where the stronghold is to get to the end, I built a tunnel that goes right through the mountain and comes out the other side near that little house on the lake that leads down to the stronghold under the ground and to the end portal. So I dug this out quite some time ago. I don't think I've ever shown you guys, but it was one of those tasks I did before I had Elytra, and climbing up over the hill was very time consuming, so I decided to go under it. So we've got a tunnel, and we've got this nice little path that leads down to this daggy little bridge, which I want to update. On this side of the river, we have got quite a bit of land, and it's reasonably flat. So terraforming won't take too long to get this area flat. And yeah, so it is relatively flat, and then it goes up into the mountain range or the hillside. So, and it's fairly long as well. This nice little outcrop running along the mountain before it gets to the water is quite long. There's a few holes that I might need to plug up. I'm glad I didn't fall in that. But yeah, it's quite long. And just around this bend, I think we get into the pillager territory. So there's the pillager outpost just there. But maybe up to this area, this little crease in the ground here, it's quite a long stretch of ground. And if I flatten it down, this might be a nice area for a zoo. Because zoos are usually in strange places, aren't they? They're never a big flat square area. So I can imagine having all the different enclosures running along here and a little path meandering between them. I reckon that would be quite nice. And it does go all the way over here as well. So yeah, I was thinking of putting a zoo in. on this side of the water. Doing some terraforming, flattening the ground down, and having some animals in animal-friendly enclosures. So that's one project, a zoo. And over here, I come over the other side of the motel. We've got the path that leads to the other village. And coming along here, we've got another section that's relatively flat, except for this mound here. So at some point, I'm going to flatten that. And I'm thinking maybe a sporting arena could be out this side, because it's quite a big area. If you see on the mini map, we're almost on a little island. So this hill wouldn't take us too long to flatten with a beacon. Flatten it down, and yeah, this might be a nice area for a sporting arena. I'm not sure what sporting arena, whether it be like a big gym, an enclosed indoor sporting arena with maybe a basketball court and a netball court, maybe some squash courts. I'm not too sure yet, or if it would be maybe a big hockey field or something like that. Ooh. I've got no use. They're nice. They are nice, but I don't have a use for small drip leaf. Thank you very much, though. I do appreciate it. So yeah, so that's my second big project. Okay, let's go for another bit of a fly. So we've got the castle. Is Squeal still up there? Squeal is still there. There's Squeal. He is still safe, keeping a lookout for those invading hordes, letting us know if anyone's attacking. He's still here. My third big project is at the back of the neighbourhood. So out this way, we've got the beginnings of a path that leads down into this lovely green area. So my third big project is to start building out this way. So do some terraforming, putting in some levels with housing, and yeah, starting to bring the city down to the water's edge. If you have a look on the mini map, there's this bit of land's a bit of an outcrop with water surrounding it. So having some houses right down near the water's edge would be really nice. It does connect to the land over yonder, but there's a bit of blue through there. So the water's not too far away as far as the city goes. So that's my third plan, my third big project, is to start building the city out down here. Okay, so further along, we've got the forestry, and we've got this nice blank area that I cleared really early on in the season, I think. My idea for this area was to have a lovely big mansion, big fancy house for the owner of the forestry, because it's down near the end of the forestry, and that it would be the sort of place that someone who owns land growing trees would build a lovely big house made of wood. So that's my fourth big project, is to build a nice big, I wouldn't say mansion, but a lovely big house down here. And I want to put some water trickling through here, going down to the river. This was a naturally forming gash in the ground. with that tree in it, and that's a lovely big oak tree. I like those big oak trees. So we're going to have water flowing along here and down into the river. So that's my fourth big project, the forestry's house. I wouldn't mind, because the houses are getting close to this hill area over here, I wouldn't mind extending this terraforming along and starting to lay out different levels running along the face of this hill, this hilly outcrop. I wouldn't mind doing that, so that might be a fifth big project, is to start terraforming over here. Lots of terraforming. I do like terraforming. I find it very relaxing. Did I just hear a villager? We've got villagers all the way out here now. Hey, buddy. We do have a nice view from up here, don't we? A very nice view. I like how there's the white strip in the middle, and on either side got lots of multicoloured buildings starting to take shape. So yes, I can appreciate while you're out here, mate, having a nice view of the city from this end, but you are a long way from safety. There's no real iron golems out here, mate. So this is my fifth project. And my sixth project is the hospital. Now, if you remember, I've made a Happy Ghast emergency vehicle hangar. So we've got a little desk here with snowballs. You got to keep snowballs handy when you're working with the ghast, because they do have a tendency to float away. So we've got the emergency vehicle in a hangar with a helipad, and I have started working on the next level of the hospital. So I've excavated. There's a block of dirt missing. I've excavated underneath the hospital. So this black line here, that's the apron that runs around the edge of the hospital. And this is going to be where surgeries take place. So we're going to have, this isn't going to be left as dirt. This staircase isn't going to be dirt. It's going to be dressed up a little bit. So the patient will be escorted off the helicopter, the Happy Ghast helicopter. I've put these I've put these gates in to stop villagers from coming down into the pit at the moment. Because I had a couple find their way down here, and it took me so long to get them out again. They just get in the way when you're digging. So we're going to come down here, and straight ahead is going to be an emergency bay. So we're going to have a couple of beds here where the doctors and the nurses can come in and treat them and get them stable. And this might be the wing where once they're stable, they're put into a little room. I just light this place up a bit more. And down this end might be the surgery wing, where there's actual surgeries. So depending on how bad they are, when they're here and they're being diagnosed and they're being looked at, they might go into here and straight into surgery, or they might be fixed up and put into this area, still being monitored. This might be the ICU ward, intensive care ward, where people are, they need very close monitoring. And once they're well enough, they can go upstairs into one of the normal beds and be looked after up there. So that's my sixth project, to work down here. I'm going to drop the floor down a bit more, and I will line the walls to make it more in line with the the hospital up above us, and it will be lit up. And at the moment, it looks like a dungy a dungy dungeon where scientists do experiments on people, but that's not what it is. That's not what it is. This is the emergency department. The hospital got some funding from the government, and we can't go up, so we're going down. So this is the emergency department. I've moved the... I'll go around to the front of the hospital to show you what I've done. If you remember, this little area here was the admin, where visitors would go and sign in to see patients. I'll just go around to the front of the hospital and I'll show you where that has been moved to. So here's the front of the hospital. So we come in, we've got a little chair here. I might put some more chairs on either side of that. That looks very lonely. We've got chairs there, and here is where the admin room is. So I've moved the bed. That used to be a ward, a patient's room. Just excuse the dirt, I haven't finished that yet. So this used to be a patient's room. I've moved the bed across the corridor, and this is now admin. So you come and sign in here. The people working here can help you out with what room to go to and information like that. And this is going to be a bit neater than this. I've just put that there to stop the villagers from falling down into the pit. It will look nicer than that. That's just thrown together in a rush. So that's my 6th big project, finishing the emergency department of the hospital. So there you have it. 6 big projects that I can potter around with over the next couple of months during this crazy time of the year, and I will be giving you regular updates. They'll just be small snippets, not necessarily as long as what my other episodes have been. There might be a small time lapse in there, but generally it's just going to be updates from here on in until my profession dies down a little bit. This time of the year is crazy. So I hope you stick with us over the next month or two and keep up to date with how the city is progressing. And I'm hoping to get back into longer videos at the end of November. So until I see you next time,